If you want to be my friend, you had better go and get a pen.
Oh, we're in the wheelhouse today.
And maybe we can keep in touch like they did in the old days. It wasn't so long ago. And I wish you well. Oh, sign your pen, pal.
Did we learn to sing again? Or not.
Or not that. Or that's not there.
Do you want to show everybody what you're working with today?
Folks,
do it in your single.
I'm a new man.
Do it in your wide for the YouTubers.
Hey, everybody. I'm a Crocs guy.
Now, look, you're hiding what is the most justifiable thing about you wearing those.
What?
With your zipper.
Oh.
The coordination.
This is
an accident, you're going to say?
I just want to say I left the house today.
You didn't.
I don't wear this shirt very often. I put it on, put these shoes on, got to the coffee shop, was waiting on my coffee, looked in the mirror. No, I looked in the mirror and I went, I match.
Yeah.
And I immediately took a picture and I sent it to Jordan. I go, my shoes match my shirt. Yeah, 42, arch support issues, going Crocs.
Can I be honest?
I'm not going to lie. I love this color a lot.
You and Lissa had an entire conversation about these shoes before we started recording.
Yeah, so.
Which some would say would have been great on the show. That's fine.
What did we talk about? Maybe we restart it.
Don't. I have not really commented.
Don't. Oh, yeah, go ahead. What are your thoughts?
I
Hold on. Lissa, could you imagine seeing Daniel in Crocs?
Never times infinity.
Never. I mean, Crocs reaches out and goes, we want you to be our new poster boy for Crocs. Daniel goes, you couldn't pay me enough.
They could. And you know they could pay me enough to wear them on my hands.
Croc hands. Croc gloves.
Okay.
By DVK. You're like Kanye, but for Crocs.
Yeah, and way less problematic.
You know what? It's shoe design. That's what got his brain twisted and turned around.
Why?
Go ahead. Say it.
Why does he look like he had jaw surgery now?
I don't know. There's something going on.
You know, Through the Wire, he sang with his jaw wired shut, paid for the music video, everything himself. It's an amazing story. You know, I miss the old Kanye. It's a saying for a reason.
Part.
Yes. And now it looks like, and if anybody knows that there's something I shouldn't be making fun of him for, although some would say he's earned it. I agree. It looks like there's something wrong with his jaw.
I thought the same thing.
Like he always has something in his mouth.
Or is that just what he looks like with a beard?
No,
it's because it's the beard. He's got a beard.
Or does he have like a grill on that's changing his mouth structure?
I don't know what's going on.
Okay, back to
the beard.
Back to these. I am in favor of anyone doing anything that they like, and especially that makes them more comfortable.
Yeah. But
I will never, ever
participate.
I can't. I look at it. It looks like cartoon shoes. It looks like clown shoes. I appreciate how well it goes with your shirt. Like it really works.
It's only this shirt.
But it just always looks goofy to me. And before I get yelled at about...
Because they're rounded. It's too... And also they look like they're not even real.
It must...
Doesn't it look like you could just bite them?
It must... Yeah, it looks like a peep. Yours look like big old peeps.
I've never bit this one. Would you bite it?
Yeah.
I had to say, I've never bit this one. And what if I'm lying? What if I'm like...
These are so new.
Do that. Tell me that doesn't feel good.
That's so gratifying. Well, this clip's going to make no sense. Put it in the pile. It is really gratifying.
Isn't it that little like...
Oh.
I wonder if there's sound good. Yeah, that.
You can't do it? You're not a Croc, man.
That's what switches you.
Where is this just for holding?
Yeah, well, when you take them off, here I'll show you. Like you know, like you're walking on the beach.
That can't be real.
No, it's supposed to go on your heel like that.
Oh, okay.
But who wants to do that?
That's what I wonder. And then everybody flips them.
You just flip them now.
So I will say they must be so comfortable for people to love them in spite of what they look
bottom,
like.
You're like, that's not a real shoe. Like, look at the shape of it.
Yeah. Also,
the toe flips up. The toe flipping
it's
up.
Very
is
Dutch.
the
It's very Dutch.
I can't. Well, then I'm back on board. But they don't need to look like that and still be that comfortable, right?
Yeah, I don't know how that got started. It didn't work early on, but they
one
have
of those
maintained
things.
as a company, and now they are crushing it. Also, these are not cheap.
No.
These are pricey.
That's it's one of those things where I'm like, somebody's like, I love my Crocs. I'm like, great. I will never not think you look silly, and I could never imagine wearing them. Now, who knows? Maybe, like you said, you were having some foot pain and it's feeling a lot better. So maybe there'll be a time where I'm like, fuck it, it's worth feeling versus what I think I look like.
I hope you're at a party and you like slip up and like someone like you're looking for icebreakers. You're just small chat.
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
really know everybody.
Right.
Someone says something about Crocs and you just let it accidentally slip. Go. You ever chew on the strap? And everyone just goes, "The fuck?"
Accidentally slip. You say that at a party, and people you don't know, you're gonna instantly find out who your new friends are.
Yeah. You ever chew on the strap and they go, "Yes." Meet me by the other hors d'oeuvres that no one knows about. It gets you into like a special part of the party.
Do you just want to go?
Do you want to go?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the letters.
Wait, first?
Does this count?
Which one are we doing? Are we doing bird? What are we doing? Heavy.
Please edit that together.
Okay.
Everyone who couldn't see, I was doing magic tricks. Hey, y'all. Love that.
You do?
I'm good, y'all.
Yeah. I used to have a
Look at y'all.
y'all. I used to have a y'all bit.
Is y'all is everywhere, right?
Yeah. No. Is
it just
That's a good thing. I bet you it's more places now than it's ever been. Like I feel like it's growing.
What is Midwest? Like what are they saying? Guys. Hey guys.
Yeah.
Hey you guys.
Is y'all in South Carolina?
Yes, for sure. Definitely southeast. But that's
and
why I
Texas,
wonder
dude, for sure.
Yeah, but I wonder it
And
gets such a
Oklahoma.
southern identity,
Don't
but
you
I'm
feel
like, is it really? Cuz like the southern accent, and David Cross has talked about this, and I even think Cable Guy is an example of this, but the southern accent is not just in the South. It's like kind of everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not really that it's southern. It's like it's just that it's an accent. It's a slowed down British accent.
Do you think y'all is in New Mexico? Do you think it kind of stops at Texas? Does y'all has to make its way? There's parts of Arizona, probably,
Maybe.
right?
Maybe. It's interesting it's called New Mexico. Shouldn't it also just be Mexico? Because it was already Mexico.
Well, so was most of Texas, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was already. It
our
was
state.
Mexico.
Right.
They're like, this is New Mexico.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I didn't think about that.
Daniel
for a
and I
long
don't
time.
really know geography, anyways.
Okay.
But I was just in New Mexico.
You were?
I went to a friend's wedding, Santa Fe. Longtime fan of the show, #Saga.
Sorry.
I love going to see live comedy, and I get out to shows pretty regularly. I've been lucky enough to see some of my favorite comics perform, even though not many come through DC. Really?
DC Improv,
DC's
one of
a
the
pretty
best clubs
hot
in the
market.
country.
930 Club for non-comedy club related shows. Black Cat. There's 3 clubs in DC, not just the DC Improv.
Sounds amazing.
Shout out to Rory. Your show at the Improv was phenomenal. That's correct. I wanted to talk about a stand-up show I went to recently. The host did his opening set, and it was kind of hit or miss. But then he talked about he supported his son, who is gay, and I thought, okay, let's see where this goes. And I was right to hold my breath. He went on to completely invalidate trans people for the remainder of his set, specifically non-binary people. I am a non-binary individual. There are ways to make jokes about the LGBTQ plus community without punching down at them. Watch any queer comic. But this didn't feel lighthearted. It seemed like he didn't understand, but decided to just use people as a punching bag. Maybe others didn't feel this way, but it's how it made me feel sitting in the audience. Eventually, the headliner I went there to see came out and did an amazing job, but the host set still stuck with me. I don't know what I should have done. I'm not going to heckle someone on stage You just don't do that. But staying quiet didn't feel great either. It seems like comics making fun of trans people is becoming more of a thing, and when they get called out for it, the trans people who are being verbally attacked by the comic's words get the blame for being too sensitive. Is comedy just not a space for me? Anyways, my favorite sandwich is a chicken parm grinder. Patrick, they, them. P.S. This is not stationary. What I appreciate is that our listeners take a stance when it comes to the stationary debate, and the two people that started this debate can't fully remember what the argument even was.
Do you think this is stationary?
I don't remember what my stance is.
Well, what's your stance today?
I don't remember who I am.
This is Crocs.
This is not stationary.
There's not a chance. It doesn't have your name and address on it.
See, that's where I'm like, did I used to think this was stationary? COVID, you know what I mean? I mean, like, right? Like the fucking pandemic.
Chicken parm grinder. Oh, you go wherever you want.
I do want to start with that chicken parm grinder because that made me think of something. What is a grinder? Is that just to say the sandwich, or is that actually a specific type of sandwich?
I've always thought that
because I love it. It gets me excited about a sandwich.
Meat ground up.
Was a grinder?
Yeah, but that's not.
I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right.
But I do think it's a hot sandwich.
I agree with that.
Where the meat,
I think, actually, I don't even know.
Like if it was going to be steak, it wouldn't be a cut. It would be like ripped up steak.
You get like little strips of it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chicken is kind of like pulled, ripped.
That's what
chicken.
makes it a grinder?
I think so. I
don't know what do you know? What makes something a grinder?
So I looked it up. I don't know.
She's like, it's an app.
So subs are cold, right?
Yep.
So are hoagies. It's just that's a regional thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Subs and hoagies are cold sandwiches.
Cold sandwiches.
Yes. This is new to me.
Right.
Usually like
I didn't know this.
Meat and cheese. And hoagies are more Italian American.
Okay.
Sure.
Then Heroes, that's New York City based.
Okay.
And that's like a hot or cold sandwich.
Okay.
And then a grinder is that same thing but New England.
Oh. So a grinder is the same as a hero.
Yeah. They say instead of just cold cuts and cheese, you might also find it filled with meatballs and sauce.
Chicken parm.
Yep, chicken.
I think a grinder tends to have a more heartier meat. It's not a deli cut.
It sounds more fun. Hero doesn't do it for me. Hoagie and grinder. Maybe it's the G. The G makes me go sandwich.
One theory is that these long sandwiches got their name because they require so much grinding or chewing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Favorite hot sando. Any location.
Earl of Sandwich is.
Yep.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
like,
this man
is really, really good.
You
That's
don't
been
realize
a lifesaver
cranberry
in Vegas.
sauce on a sandwich can really make.
There's
waves.
a one.
It really makes
is
waves.
it the BB or whatever at Capriati's?
The BB.
Yeah, is that what it is? I can't remember.
Right.
But they do the Bobby. The Bobby at Capriati's,
and they do a hot or cold.
Yeah.
Which can be a grinder because grinders can be hot and or cold.
I went through a time in my life.
Like New England.
Schlotsky's turkey with
Schlotsky's deli.
Oh my god,
that's Schlotsky's bread.
Okay, for anybody, I think it's only Southern California. I think it's maybe only L.A. and Houston. Mendocino Farms.
I don't know.
You've had Mendocino though?
I don't know regionally. I don't know.
No, I think they're only in Houston and L.A. But their study of heat and their not so fried chicken, fucking A, dude. Wow. Maroon. All of a sudden I'm like,
Patrick, you knew this was dangerous.
Why? What's yours?
If I'm gonna go sub and or hoagie, I'm going Italian. If I'm gonna go hot, I'm probably going cheesesteak if it's a legit cheesesteak like option. But probably more than not meatball. I don't really do the chicken parm.
I have an airplane
and I
sandwich.
think I'd love it, but I don't. And my brain just doesn't go there.
Jersey Mike's.
Oh, to get on the plane?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Terminal 3?
No, I have to take it
you're
to
Southwest.
Yeah. Which, by the way, did you hear?
No. What?
Did listen here?
Listen, what is it?
All new drinks on Southwest. They now serve high noon.
Did you guys hear that?
They serve high noon on Southwest. Guys.
What is that?
High noon?
I'm kidding. I totally know.
Thank you. You scared me. You don't know.
I do. It's a drink. Am I right?
Yeah.
It's also a time of day. It's also in a lot of cowboy movies.
Dude, High Noon Sun Sips?
Why is High Noon not a THC drink? You know what I mean?
We had a THC beer with Corey Lukasik once, and I found it to be very good.
Okay. Can I tell a quick story about THC thing? Riot Fest, before COVID, they gave out the pot sodas. I maybe even told the story. I don't know. Stop me if I have. Pot sodas. They put it in all the comics like grab bags that everybody was getting.
Yeah.
And comics were kind of drinking it.
Yeah.
And apparently it was very strong. And I went on stage and I said, I have a pot soda here that was in our grab bag. I go, does anyone want it? And this guy goes, I want it. And I go, I just need you to know that apparently it's very strong. And he goes, okay, great. And I go, and you have to drink all of it in front of all of us right now. And he goes, all right, I will. And I go, you have been told.
Yeah.
This will change your entire...
Right.
I don't know where you're going to end up.
Right. We're going to start working on that third eye.
And he goes, I don't care. And you can tell, you're like, this guy's got a tolerance.
Yeah.
This might not actually do anything.
Sure, yeah.
He drank that. I think about him once a month. He crosses my mind.
Really?
Yeah. Because I'm definitely doing a little bit of pot.
Was he okay?
Every month. And it always makes me go, where's that guy?
He's still there, man.
Who did he become?
He's still there.
Anyways, it was Matt Gaetz. Turns out he was Matt Gaetz.
Really?
Could you imagine?
Like a dream.
Folks.
What do you think, Roar? What should you do if you are deeply offended, and I would say in this case probably warranted, by a comedian?
Let me put myself in this position because this is a position.
Which position?
The audience.
Okay.
This is a position you and I are rarely in.
Very.
In fact, it's almost an impossibility now for you and I to fully be in it, given the fact that we are too close to the it, meaning the stage side of things.
How often?
So even when we sit in a crowd,
I wanted to ask you, how many more times in your life do you think you will be seated in the audience watching stand-up comedy?
Sometimes I like to do it.
In the audience?
Yeah, because sometimes it's a good reminder of who is your backboard that you are doing this for, and to go out there and be like, oh, this is what it feels like.
Like
I don't mean stand in the
festival?
back of the room. No, I mean like legit. Like, I want to go see a show.
Great.
Like right now, for example, if I were in New York, and if anyone's watching this and you are in New York or listening to this, go see Kate Berlant's show that she's currently doing.
Something.
But that's what I mean in terms of.
And I mean that as a
But even like Comedy Club or what she's doing, like a small off-Broadway theater.
Yes.
Still, like, go sit there to go, oh, yeah, it's always good to remind yourself what is beyond the lights and what does it feel like out here?
Sure.
Because it does inform you up there. Like, oh, yeah, that's right. Everyone out here doesn't know each other.
I like this attitude.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I haven't thought about it.
I wouldn't do it all the time. It's not fun to do all the time.
Nope.
Also, there's not a lot of comedy you do actually want to go and just sit. You'd rather go, I want to stand at the back. Even if you love it.
Yeah.
You're like, nah, I want to be at the back because also if it is a festival, that's where the other comics are. That's just like, that's just hanging out with your friends. That's the playground, you know?
Right. But anyway, from putting yourself in
going to my point, putting myself in that position, I genuinely believe that my personal take is I don't believe that there is something that you can fully do about it. I think it's art, and I think that you decide where and how you contribute money towards that art. And if someone goes on stage and they are wildly offensive, I think we know by now it isn't going to necessarily cancel them. It might actually make them more popular. You don't really know the direction it could go.
Yeah.
My personal take is, in the world of art, you live and die by what you're making and creating. And I, as another artist, there is no world where, even, I don't know who this host is, but there's no world where I even approach that host to say, I don't know that you should go out there and do those jokes. Now, if I'm headlining at that club, I might go, hey,
your show.
This is my show.
Right.
You are hosting my show. You are a representation of not only myself, but the feature or any guests, and it matters to me.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably be like, if you can't change it, I got to take you off the shows because that's not what my crowd is here for.
Right.
And I'm not into it.
And it also puts you in a position by the time you get out. You're like, I don't need to be starting from there.
Yes.
The mess you just left.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Or like, let's say you got let's say Youngblood's going up. You're like, that's not fair to my fucking friend to have to go fucking pick up the pieces so that he can be a buffer to me.
Or you just say to the person, hey, you have a right to talk about anything that you want to talk about. I just want you to know this is my show. And I just don't need jokes like that.
Yeah.
I just, from a personal standpoint.
Yeah.
And when you get to be a headliner.
But I wouldn't be saying it to be hey, I want to change you. I'm at a point now where I'm like, you want to go up and be wildly fucking mean and offensive and,
you're gonna weed
tear people down. You want to punch down. You want to do all that stuff. None of that has, while I don't agree with it.
Of course.
And I don't want to do it. I'm not going to, there won't be a time where I am in the audience and I think the reality is, I think the only power you have as the audience is that you either laugh or don't laugh. You either spend the money or you don't spend the money.
I think, right here, Patrick says, I'm not going to heckle. And I'm like, correct call.
That's correct.
I would just get up and leave.
I would get up and leave.
You don't need to make a scene.
But here's the thing.
Just get up and go.
But here's the thing.
And if they're like, where are you going? Be like, I just need a minute.
Yeah,
you don't even need to make it a thing.
Yes.
People are going to know you left. People are going to know you didn't come back until after they were off stage. And if someone, let's say, because I'm thinking of one of the best clubs in the country, Comedy on State, let's say they come up to you and you're in the bar and they saw you leave, and they said to you, everything all right? Be like, you know what? I just didn't find that funny, and I didn't want to be in the room for it. I'm going to go back in when the next comic comes up.
Yeah,
and they're going to go.
I think that's your best play. I actually think that's your outside of just leaving the club, but you're there for the other comics.
Yeah, I'm not saying leave the club.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm saying outside of that.
Yeah.
I think that is kind of your only move, and you can. Every comedy club has comment cards. You can state your opinion. I'm not going to sit here and act like I haven't been in a comedy club at the end of the night when the comment cards are collected. There isn't a club that maybe sits there and goes, oh, we hyper-analyze the feedback that we're getting. I mean, there probably is a world where if they were to sit down, and let's say there's 200 people at the show Patrick's talking about, and half of them wrote on the comment card, found the MC to be wildly inappropriate and offensive. The comedy club will take note of that, but I guarantee you they almost don't have to because they're probably already feeling it.
Sure.
The staff is already going, whoa. But
you
also never know. Like, also, hosts are
fire.
usually local. That might not be the first time that's been an issue,
Right.
There's also a world, like, and Patrick even states it there, the host... Or the audience, Patrick was saying, there might have been people that enjoyed this.
Can I ask you? Can I?
Yeah, I welcome it.
Outside of maybe a very conservative person,
I don't like where this is going.
do you feel like your comedy is offensive to anybody? Obviously, someone very conservative when you start out with anal is gonna go, I can't. This is too.
I think offensive in an opinion of what we can be talking about.
Yes.
But I would never.
But you're never like, man, if you're blank, you're really gonna dislike me. Does that fit with you at all? It doesn't fit with me.
I would no. But I mean, if I do a bit about going to church and kind of going
I guess
a little
right.
bit at people who are like, oh, you still go to church. Yeah, and if they were like, I find that offensive, I would go, and just so you know, it's not this personal identity, even though that you want it to be. It isn't meant to be an attack. It's meant to be more of I'm just being this aggressive because I really want you to hear my counterpoint of a lifestyle choice that you have made to go, this is what I invest in because this is my interpretation of reality. I want to jar you. I want to shake you up. Yeah. And I want you to go, oh, is that not? Is it possible that all of that is not what any of this is or about? Is that even slightly possible? I would, if someone came up and like, I found you offensive. I mean, there are plenty of people that didn't like my Netflix special because they were like, yeah, you started saying anal 100 times, so I turned it off. And I'm like, and all I've ever perceived that is I was such a gentleman that I let you know early on that if this isn't funny to
I saved you a lot of time.
You might not like this whole
hour.
thing. Imagine I did it 20 minutes in and you go, I just spent 20 minutes watching. There's 30
now I don't
more
like
to go.
this guy. I feel tricked.
Instead, right out of the gate, I showed you, this is what I think is funny. So if you also think this is funny, I bet you like this.
Right.
But if you don't find this funny, you may find other things funny, but you also may not. This might not be your fucking vibe. So when someone's like, yeah, I turned it off because you said anal so many times, all I think about is, oh, good. Yeah, this is not for you.
Right.
And any joke I would started with might not be for you.
I think that some comics, we know this for a fact, to the extreme, but I even say even less than the extreme. I think there are some comics who are like, yeah, if you're not offending somebody, you're not doing comedy. And I'm like, well,
I don't think that
I don't
makes
think
any
that
sense.
either. Do you remember I had a bit where I talked about that movie, that documentary, Abducted in Plain Sight?
But also the reverse of that, if something is offensive, doesn't necessarily mean that I don't think it's funny. Do you know what I mean? There are things that, like in Patrick,
yes,
it's stated here with Patrick, saying there are ways to make jokes, and I don't think there is anybody outside of a joke. And I don't think there's anybody that gets some sort of shielding of the common space area of roasting or jokes. But for me, there is a line, and it's gray. You don't really know where the line is.
We've talked about
this.
But
to me, there is a line, and you kind of know when you go too far. And there's people that do, want to go too far. And I've seen people go too far. You don't decide what you're going to laugh at. Your brain you just laugh. There's things that have jokes that have been said that are so offensive that I don't agree with, that I did laugh at. And then you sit there and go, wait, does that make me a bad person? I don't know. Are you in charge of the laugh? Because technically you're not. That free will. Yeah.
Laugh.
That free will of a choice does not exist when it comes to finding something funny. You just laugh. And you go, oh, God, I hope that doesn't make people don't think I'm crazy.
Right.
Like, I don't think anybody should. No one gets to decide what they're going to laugh at.
When I would do that Abducted in Plain Sight thing, and I would say, it made me realize that as far as kids being molested, it seems like sometimes you really can blame the parents, right? And I would do this whole joke about and then I would brag, if you haven't seen the documentary, these people let this guy live with their daughter, right? And then he kidnapped her, and then they were like, you can take her again. Yeah. And I'm like, so on some level, you can blame the parents.
Yes.
And I was doing a show in Greenville.
Yeah.
And
my hometown.
And a woman came up to me, and she was like, you can't make jokes about that. And I was like, oh, well, those people were horrible. And they were horrible parents. And she was like, do you know how many kids are abused and their parents do everything right? And I was like, yeah. Do you think I said every time?
Yeah.
You can blame the parent? And then she goes, it's just not a topic. And I said, it's okay. And we were never fighting.
Right, yeah.
But I go, look, it's okay for you to feel this way. I think what you're trying to say, and please forgive me if I'm wrong, is you don't ever want to hear that topic talked about on stage.
Yeah.
That's before I even get to my joke. And in that same show, someone who was a social worker was like, that was the funniest fucking thing.
Yes, exactly.
And I was like, oh, okay. But sometimes people just the topic being brought up, right?
Yeah.
Like if someone's in the room who literally had their heart ripped out and they were dumped the day before.
Yeah.
And you start talking about how funny it is when you get dumped.
Yeah.
That person is going to go, I can't handle this right now.
Exactly.
There's nothing funny about. And so it isn't even about the jokes. It's just about that topic. They can't even handle that topic being talked about.
In my Netflix special, I said something about a suicide note or whatever.
Yeah.
And someone left a comment or a tweet or something being like, it's not okay to make jokes about suicide. Prior to that joke in the special, I've made jokes about cancer. I've made jokes about other things. That person didn't go, you can't make jokes about that. They said, I can't make jokes about the thing that they have a personal attachment to.
Right.
And they don't realize, oh, well, why didn't you say I can't make jokes about cancer? And they might go, well, because I think that is fine. I think that's fair play.
That didn't bother me.
What about this person over here whose mom just died of cancer? They just said, I can't make a joke about cancer. Right. You know what I mean? And I know this I don't want to get this misconstrued with Patrick's point here.
No, I don't think so.
That's not what this is meant to be. But it is, well, to an extent, it is.
But even Patrick's saying you can make jokes about the LGBTQ plus community. You're talking about topic.
Exactly.
You're not talking about
But when you talk about punching down
yes.
or you're just being mean or you're like, I'm being offensive, whatever that is, even still in the world of going, oh, you're just being mean. That is still subjective. You're being wildly offensive. It's still subjective. Mm-hmm. So in defense of just the craft in general, Patrick's right. It's, maybe people there did enjoy it, and it just wasn't for Patrick. But in my personal take of it, you can't stop it. I think Daniel gave the best advice. What you can do, it's not that comedy is not for you. I don't want that to ever be. I know that.
No,
that's
I don't think so either.
I don't think so at all. I think the fact that you even willingly went out to a comedy club and you enjoyed the headliner, it shows that comedy is for you. The fact that you listen to our show and we're two cackling idiots, comedy is for you. Mm-hmm. But certain types of comedy are for you and for everybody. I mean, there is Daniel and I, not to name names, we are friends with people who we don't ever fucking care to watch do stand up. There is stuff that I would go, nah, that version of you that comes out in that's not for me.
Yep.
The just got off stage version, love you to death.
Same.
Family.
Yeah.
But up there, not for me. Mm-mm. And if someone said that of me, I would go, young me, offended, and I can't believe that.
Right.
Older me now, I get it. Because I feel that way about some people too. And that doesn't mean I necessarily
guarantee.
feel, you know what I mean?
And I say this a little bit, you too. I guarantee there are people who I love and love me that are like, he just goes up there and yells at everybody.
Oh, I get that a lot. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I rewatch a set and I'm like, you could have just talked there.
I know.
Why were you still yelling?
Oh, there's a lot of mornings, this one included, where I had to go, am I going to have a voice to record pen pals today? Because of yelling last night while holding a device that amplifies my volume anyways.
I know.
I don't need to yell.
I know.
Still was yelling.
Right.
Didn't need to. Still yelled.
But I will say we are in a time where if somebody says, hey, come watch my set, I got this trans bit, I would go,
can you say it to me? Can you just say it to me right now?
Right. I would be like,
I can tell you right now. Do you need my opinion or what do you need?
This better be so unique, because as far as I know, you are not trans and you don't identify as even like non-binary. You're cis, whatever.
Which is fine.
Of course.
But also you're like, saying, are you pro? Are you on the right side?
Right.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. That comic with a does it say supported his gay son? I would almost say to that comic, if I could, be like, do jokes about your relationship to your son and how you're supporting of him being gay makes that unique or different than what it was before you knew he was gay.
Yeah.
Because that is your personal life, and it's not about him being gay. It's about your relationship, which is shaded by the fact, and not in a negative shading, but is influenced by the fact of him being gay.
Yeah.
But like, if you're going to there are certain topics right now where I'm like, this better be so unique and non-mean.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're just people like in here, they just might be getting jokes by just being mean. And I'm like, that's not a joke.
I just remembered this.
It's a rally.
I just remembered this. You can see the world and people so differently if you genuinely start to look at them as though they are your own child. And I mean, when you see someone who is let's say in this case, who you are as a person.
Mm-hmm.
You look at a person and they're trans, and you go, "Oh yeah, you're my child.
Sure,
I'm here to protect you.
Yeah,
and I've got your back.
Got your back."
You see someone that is wildly offensive, and you go, "You're my child," and you go, "I just want to explain to you what you're doing. Like, don't look at them as though they're a bad person, or look at them as though they're your kid who just did something fucked up."
Right,
and you go, "I love you, but here's what I want you to know about what you're saying and doing." It's so hard to do with strangers, but if you really see them through the lens of, how would I talk to this person if they were my child?
Yeah.
Because it's your child and you have this unconditional love, you're like, I just want to set you on the right path. I just want to explain it to you.
I see you going to that opener the first night before you tell them not to do that material again. You go, you've been working on that transmit for a while? And they're like, yeah, it gets mixed. And be like, do you think maybe it's not working?
Yeah.
Or like, maybe it's a different... maybe switch it out. Like, treat them like a kid that you're trying to help get to the place.
Well, I would just be like, I would be like that. Just so you know, is like that's the if you are taking some kind of joy in the joke. And granted, I'm sitting here, I don't know the joke and I don't know the comic, so we can all just put in our.
But I'm
heads.
gonna take.
We can all. I know, but we can all go in our heads and see what we think maybe it was.
Yeah.
I would just be like, it's a little bit easy of a target.
Yes.
And if they were like, what do you mean? I would just go, well, for instance, like. I don't want to go on stage and just say, you know what, fuck Trump for these reasons. And the reason I don't want to do that is because it feels a little too easy to say it like that.
So easy.
But if I really don't like Trump, there's a different way for me to figure out how to say it or how to get to it.
Yes.
Your target is like everybody at school is picking on one kid. And so you decide, well, I'm going to pick on that.
That's trendy.
You go, I'm going to pick on that kid too.
Right.
Imagine if you decided to pick on the kid who's picking on the kid.
Well,
is that a more powerful stage presence?
This is one of the reasons I like.
Do you know what I mean? Is that a more powerful stage presence?
Yes.
You go, I'm going to pick on Goliath. I think I'm going to pick on Goliath and see where that actually gets me.
Right.
Because all of the jokes directed at the trans community, and there it does seem like right now it's like that's the topic is to I'm gonna make trans jokes.
Hip, and you get to be like I'm like Chappelle, and oh, you guys can't handle him, you can't handle me either, and it's like, well, he seems stupid making those jokes, and you seem even more stupid for thinking that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think for me it's like this in the space of just going, well, if you hate trans people, then I guess go up and do that stuff. But if you want to be like, no, I'm just doing jokes about it, is it because the word trans gets people to like go, a key word, a topic? Mm-hmm. Is there any part of you that can look at it and go, don't you think they've got it pretty tough? Like just without your existence, without ever getting ridiculed, without any single person ever ridiculing them, don't you think that it's not an easy path of just coming into their existence and the self-realization and self-actualization of who they are? And that alone, as we all know, as two straight white males,
yes,
is traumatic and dramatic and takes a toll on you emotionally. That, the easiest of the paths, is still drama and trauma. Could you imagine if the world was against you and you had to still do it and still claim your stake as to who you genuinely, truly are as a person, and the world is pushing back because they don't understand it or they think you're weird or different or wrong?
Right.
I think, and this is all what I would say to the person. I would just go, if someone in that position, that's who you want to make jokes about because that person did something to you? Like,
I know.
And if that person goes, I don't know, man, funny's funny, I would go, and I'm not here to tell you to not do it. I'm just saying, is it so gratifying,
right,
when you get on stage to do that? Because what is really gratifying is to go do shows in the Bible Belt and to say, I don't think church is working. Now we're having some fun.
And I don't give a lot of advice, but any advice I tend to give to,
and that's my interpretation of Goliath, by the way. When I say the church
to new comics,
that's my Goliath.
Getting a reaction isn't necessarily doing comedy.
Yeah, right.
Just so you know.
Yeah, but do what you want to do.
But getting a reaction
and I'm not
isn't doing
here,
comedy. And you can go out there and talk about trans people, and you might get a reaction.
Yeah.
But just so you know, there's a good chance you're not doing comedy.
Yeah. I can technically play the guitar. It doesn't mean I can play the guitar.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
We can all get on stage and talk. It doesn't mean you can actually get on stage and talk. And
100%.
I'm not here to tell you to stop. No one's here telling me not to touch another guitar. I only know 4 chords. And it might be 3. I might have been lying a lot of the time.
Ooh.
It might only be 3. No one's telling me to stop. I can always get up there.
Right.
But if I get up there thinking I'm edgy with it, people might go, you don't really know how to play the guitar. And I have to go, yeah, I guess I don't really know how to play the guitar.
Right.
In closing, Patrick, Daniel's right. That, I think, is the best reaction you can possibly have, is to just not participate in the space.
And if you get the comedy call, where are you going? Be like, I'm good, man.
You can't heckle, and it's not fun to do that anyways.
Yep.
Especially when you're angry about it.
And I would say don't lie. Don't say you're going to the bathroom. Just be like, I'm good.
And also, I'm not going to lie.
Or don't say anything.
If you do
just keep
heckle,
walking.
you're almost adding fuel to the fire, because some comics they want you to heckle, and they want you to be.
Yeah, they want their clip.
They want the reaction.
Yeah.
And they're going to come at you. There isn't, and I don't think you boycott comedy. Especially because you enjoyed that headliner, and it's not fair to that headliner. It's not fair to the middle act. It's not fair to the guest spots, if there are any. It's not fair to the actual good of comedy that is actually more dominant than you think. It just doesn't get the headlines. You know how you go, oh, the world's falling apart. Well, the dominant headlines are going to be the more negative, traumatic things. It's not going to be Daniel held the door for someone today. No one is going to report that. So keep it. Don't do a maybe comedy's not for me, because I don't think that's true. I think Daniel's right. The best you can do is just not participate in the moment. And yeah, and if you're on the other side of this and you're like, comedy's comedy, again, Daniel and I are not here to tell anybody to not do the thing they're gonna want to fucking do. Go. It is art, and I fully say,
and some
go into that space. Right. When someone goes into that space and they have physically or traumatically assaulted somebody or done something off stage that is wildly different, I live in a different space if that person may be deserving to be canceled, given what facts may be. There isn't someone that goes on stage and says something horrific and I go, cancel that person. Just to close, going back to Kanye and what he said about the Jewish community and that tweet or Instagram, whatever it was, that I don't sit here starting some firestorm of let's all cancel Kanye. I sit here and I go, we all lie in the bed we make. So if you said something and if there's this massive reaction to it, I will take my own personal stake, which is I didn't need to get as far as you saying something shitty about Jewish people. I was actually able to get off this bus when you said something offensive way down the line. I didn't go, hey, let's speak up now. I was like, oh, I don't think this train is heading to the town I'm trying to live in. No. So I got off. Anyone that's like furious now, great. The thing that you can do is not participate in it. Yep. There isn't a world, I think, where you can make things just go away. You just go, all right, I'm not going to participate in that. It's not fucking healthy for me. It's not good for people. Anyways, great fucking letter, Patrick. Thank you. Sincerely, your pen pal. We wish you well. Sincerely, your pen pals, Rory Vanderscoven
and Daniel Scovel.
It's too much. And we're back. It was way too much. Too quick. Too high. Too early.
I feel like I owe an apology to people. How do you get up in the morning? Oh, I just set my timer to the second letter of pen pals.
Hey, whenever they come back from the break.
What are you doing?
What?
Do you have anything?
When does this come out?
Next Wednesday.
Come to Nashville, folks. I need you. I need you, and I need your support. And I need you to get 30 friends to come with you. Chill people. Make them chill. Cool as fuck. You know what I mean? Could chill AF. Yeah, October 27, 28, 29, Zanies in Nashville. And then as per usual, Daniel and I, right before Thanksgiving, are going to be in Houston for the Come and Take It Festival. Each of us doing stand-up, but also doing a live Pen Pals, which
I'm also
if you're a fan, we rarely do them.
Right.
It's a special
moment.
We
tend to do them in Texas.
We always do them in Texas. We only do them in Texas.
Do you think Jacoby still listens?
I don't know. Ever since our breakup.
You broke up?
No.
Over the hat?
Did I tell you he messaged me?
No.
And he's like, I'll send you stuff.
Have you gotten anything?
No, because
well, there we go.
I think I cold shouldered him. I don't even know if I wrote back.
Roar!
I think I did. I think I was joking.
Also, at Come and Take It,
nothing would. I am joking. but I would love it if Jacoby was like, "This is real."
It's not real.
I know, but if he felt that.
Now, Keith
has never liked us.
I'm doing a bingo show. I'm doing a Hub City bingo show at Come and Take It Comedy Festival. You won't be there yet. Okay, ready?
Would you rather?
Love a good would you rather.
And a would you rather.
A
would you rather.
Okay.
Hashtag would you rather. Good luck, Shanley. If you could.
Oh, that reminds me.
Every time you go to a cocktail bar or a bar in general, the bartender, not that you get it immediately,
okay,
already knows what you want and will make it. You still got to pay for it. But that will, anytime you walk into a bar, it's almost like you don't even have to make eye contact. You've walked in. Your drink will be up there in 10 minutes.
Okay.
You can walk up, pay for it, get it. Or Keith's mom comes around to actually respecting you. Keep in mind, that might mean free drinks in Galveston forever. if she respects you. Anytime you go to Galveston, she's like, I'm drinking with Daniel.
Vicky?
Daniel's my guy.
What about Stretch? Does he package deal?
Oh, he's always there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might go with drink just because I like the fire.
I know.
I like the friction. I like that. I think this woman hates me. I'm going to make her give me a hug.
You're talking about Vicky Friction? Yeah. Is that her wrestling name or is that her real name?
Dude.
Vicky Friction.
Yeah.
That's a good wrestling name.
Great wrestling
From now on, Jacoby, if you don't call her Vicky Friction, you're not my friend. And we are on the ropes already. So,
I don't think I have anything else.
All right, here we go.
Halloween-go is happening. That's going to be online. Remember, you've dressed up and been a part of that before, bingo and...
See.
Okay.
See.
So everything's at Daniel Van Kirk.
Even my dates. Even my dates.
Some of them. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Kia ora, Daniel and Rory. What do you think that means?
Hello?
Gotta be, right?
Greetings.
Yeah.
Kia ora.
Oh, you know, I bet it stands for correct order, Daniel and
Kia
Rory.
ora.
Correct order.
Well, I
Daniel
just see
and
Kia
Rory.
and I can't stop thinking about the car.
Once upon a yesteryear, I was a paler. Now I am but a humble penny. I am from South Africa originally, but spent most of my coming up years in the U.S. Now I'm living in beautiful New Zealand, where I research birds for my PhD. Every year, New Zealanders vote for the Bird of the Year. It was started in 2005 as a way to increase awareness for our many endangered species, and is now a beloved and cutthroat tradition.
Ooh.
The campaigning season for this year is well underway. Last year caused quite a stir because a bat won. Adorable damn fellows.
I'm not going to lie. I don't agree with that.
I have a thing too. I propose that you go check out the candidates at, and I'm going to read this, okay? https://www.birdoftheyear.org.nz/ all those are back. And decide.
Is there even a other slash?
There's a
Isn't the
forward
backslash?
slash. Yeah.
But when you hit slash, what do you get? Backslash?
There's two different keys, I believe.
But it's / shift /?
Probably. Hanging out with the fucking question mark.
So many slashes.
I propose that you go to birdoftheyear.org and decide who you'd vote for. I'm always on hand to answer cues if desired, any hour of day or night. It would mean a lot to a devoted fan and help spread the word about the unique and wonderful birds of New Zealand. Voting ends at the end of this month, which is October, so tarry not. Yours in comedy and conversation, Pascal.
Conservation
And conversation. Pascal L. P.S. I'm on Team Southern New Zealand Dotterel this year. Oh, that's the bird. There's only 145 of them left. Okay.
Is that a lot of them?
I would guess not.
Just for the phrasing.
I have it here. Bird of the year. Underbirds are go.
How many do you get to vote on? How many have they?
You probably only get to vote for one, right?
Yeah, but I mean, how many is there a running? Like we've narrowed it down to 5, and you got to vote.
I have no idea.
Or literally, can you just go? Can you try to get pigeon in every year?
There's a lot.
What in the fuck is that?
Can I ask you?
Yes.
I feel like we touched on it. Is a bat a bird? Don't look at her.
Well, the only reason
what
I'm greatly confused is because Michael Keaton did also play Birdman.
We recently did a letter where I almost talked to you about Birdman. Okay.
So proud of that. Really proud of that.
Is a bat a bird?
Not in my eyes.
Is a hashtag is a bat a bird?
They don't even have them. So
bats don't have eyes?
They do, but they're blind, right?
Ish. Blind as a bat.
Aren't they? They're blind. Why do I think that should matter if it's a bird, if it has sight?
It's a marsupial, isn't it?
I think it's a marsupial. It's like a mouse that can fly with fangs, and it's
like
Dracula and a vampire.
Wait.
And blood.
Bat
is
not a bird. I mean, I guess New Zealand would tell you otherwise.
New Zealand is its own thing.
I've never thought about whether or not a bat is a bird.
A bat is not a bird.
Is there any other flying...
And honestly, it kind of delegitimizes the whole thing.
Is there any other flying animals that you would say, is that a bird or not? No, right?
I mean, is a Tyrannosaurus or is a pterodactyl a bird? Is a pterodactyl an ancestor of a bird?
Yeah, I think all dinosaurs are birds, right?
Are all of them?
Well, they think a lot of them had feathers now.
Really?
You know, half the shit we were talking about dinosaurs is just fucking guesses.
I don't think anything is real.
There are people who don't think dinosaurs are real.
Yeah, I know.
What?
I know.
What a simple life.
I hope they're
to just like.
Could you imagine
when people try to give you more information and you go, nah.
Could you imagine genuinely believing that the Earth is flat? Like the only way the Earth is flat is that we are truly in a computer program.
I'm going to say what I instantly thought, and I know it just sounds like a joke, and I can't help it.
All the planets are flat. I know.
No. If you think the planet's flat, you're divorced.
You're
or unmarried. Doesn't that feel like that Venn diagram?
But the thing,
pretty.
Isn't it always like blow your mind when you see the person who's like, the Earth is flat, and then they cut to the wide, and they're sitting there with their spouse, and you're just like, well, she doesn't think that, and she's like, he's right, and you're like, oh, that's your bond. Your bond is that you're both like crazy.
Right. That pot found a lid.
The Earth is flat. Like where?
Pull this up so you can pick one of these birds with me. All right. There's a lot. We don't even have the time.
This is more of an Enneagram style bird.
I like a black-billed gull and a black-fronted tern.
Okay. Wow, that bird that got the
I switched to list.
The bird that got the main page is not happy. Very broy.
When you go for a bird, you like a lot of color? You like a wingspan?
I love
What's an impressive?
Ooh, a Takapoo.
What about the Kahu Harrier?
I'm not gonna lie,
dude,
the Takapoo.
Look how BA that bird looks.
Yeah,
it's a BAB.
I might be
dude.
Team Takapoo.
What is that?
Well,
dude, look at the caribou.
These dive-bombing daredevils
look at this fucking bird.
Oh my god,
that's a winner.
A caribou. These dive-bombing daredevils are equipped with bubble wrapping on their chest and face to protect them from the impact of the water. Also, they have no external nostrils. Instead, their nostrils are in their mouth, and they have transformer eyes that change shape to help them see underwater. Dude. That's not the winning bird? That's not the winning fucking bird, a Takapoo?
That's a dope bird. That bird looks like
I don't even want to see the rest. Team Takapoo. Is this too close?
That looks like a landscape painting. Doesn't that look like a landscape painting on the bird? Okay, get ready for mine. Sit down. The caribou. You want to try? We can play their song. You're going to love this bird.
Wait, they have a song?
You ready?
That's not fair. I feel like it's more water than it is.
Yeah, why isn't there more?
Okay, pause it, because if this isn't good, I might be off Team Takapoo.
Okay.
Are you fucking kidding me? Who wrote this letter?
Pascal,
you just introduced me to my fucking favorite bird, dude. I'm fucking Takapoo. That's the sound? They sound like they're laughing?
Yeah, that's great.
Oh,
can I read you about caribou?
Love that color.
Now, look, this might be a turnoff for you for the caribou. Bird of the Year 2018, so already a winner. Do you feel like they should be eligible?
I don't love a dynasty.
Bird of the Year 2018, the beloved and occasionally tipsy caribou. Occasionally, they fill themselves up with a fair amount of fermented fruit. These guys get drunk, dude.
They get fucked up.
Yeah, and have been known to fall out of trees.
Hey, is a better name the Carolesaroo?
Oh, they are one of the only.
I feel like I set you up for your designing women.
They are one of the only New Zealand birds that eat the whole fruit, which means they scatter seeds wherever they fly. Dude, they're helping. And conservation status, doing okay. That is a beautiful bird. Would you paint that?
Yeah, that's nice.
That is a gorgeous bird.
Ooh, a rowie.
What's a rowie?
Not a good-looking bird.
You know, I feel bad. This is going to track. You're already going to know this about me.
These are some beautiful birds, but I got to tell you what, I've made my choice.
I feel bad for brown birds because you know how I feel about them.
at night. Well, you don't like at night. You're like put on a better suit.
But if a brown bird, a rockhopper penguin, that looks
Takapoo.
dope.
I'm not even in
really. Look at this guy. That is beautiful.
Wow.
What is this? The Adam Kate and Holland show?
That's
a royal
This is
spoonbill.
Adam's favorite episode.
Yeah, he'll never hear it.
He won't listen to this.
Okay, you picked yours. Did you vote?
Voting ends. I didn't even vote.
I know they won in 2018, but that bird takes my breath away.
That's gonna be your pick.
It's almost like if a peacock were a bird. Okay.
God, I love a good Takapoo.
The brown ones.
Wait, how do you vote for him?
I thought, wouldn't you just click on it? Doing okay.
Takapoo's
follow the campaign. Oh, I don't even know how you vote.
I don't know how to vote. Pascal, what do we do? How do we get to vote?
Carrot. Maybe voting hasn't opened
I'm going
yet.
to the 3 lines. Voting.
Voting opens October 17th.
See?
Okay.
So by the time this episode comes out, everyone can vote.
Bird of the year for me, Takapoo 2022. And don't even act like I'm not going to fucking hardcore campaign this.
I love the Royal
Every show that
Spoonbill.
I have from this point on, I'll be getting people to go to the website.
But I think I got to go with the caribou. I know it won in 2018, and there's a reason why. I love that it's doing okay in terms of conservation.
Takapoo.
Just an absolutely beautiful bird, and it likes to get drunk. I
Takapoo.
love that. When you write yours in, we don't know how long we will care, but feel free to tell us what bird you voted for.
I would actually love to know that. I'd love to know people's vibe of like which bird is their bird.
3 years from now, we're like, oh, and they said their bird is a brown teal. Okay, I love that.
I love it.
Pascal, thanks for sending. That's great. Ooh, what was that?
Little added bonus.
I love it.
So I told her, well, then if that's the deal, then that is the deal. We have a good show for you guys tonight. You guys are
sorry about that guy's trans stuff earlier. We're gonna keep the show moving.
That guy's trans stuff earlier, but I gotta tell you, and I'm not even joking. One of my favorite movies of all time, Fly Away Home.
Okay, roar.
You guys get it. You guys are fun and you're nice to be here. But favorite basketball player, Larry Bird.
Okay.
I had a buddy say to me, he goes, why don't we grab an Uber? I go, why don't we grab a bird? It's kind of crazy that they're on wheels and they don't fly.
Oh, you got him on that one.
I'm not going to lie. I think that bird was coming.
All right, Pascal.
Pascal, what kind of bird porn are you putting into Pen Pals over here, dude?
Thanks so much for this letter. I hope everybody goes and votes on the 17th of October, and I hope everybody comes to see us at Come and Take It Comedy Festival. We wish you well. Sincerely, your Pen Pals, Daniel Van Kirk
and Rory Scovel.
Nothing on this? Nothing on this?
I clocked him.
No, that's where it stopped. Because you're like, I don't like sherbet.